for the last time this year and ever. Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the medium in the middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 199. That is the last time you will be hearing that intro. 2024, I'm coming back with a new intro. I'm finally going to record it. It is scheduled. It is written down. We are starting off fresh with an updated intro. But welcome to the last podcast of 2023. So I was trying to think what I should do for the last podcast of the year. Should I tell a mediumship story? Should I tell a lesson? Should I do a recap? And as I was going through, I was trying to figure out how many episodes I had this year. And I was like scrolling through all of the episodes I released. And it felt like reading my diary. It was so vulnerable and just seeing everything that I was posting. And I decided that this last episode is going to be my yearly recap and reflect on 2023 because you guys know I'm huge for this. This is why I love my goals workshop so much. But this podcast is literally my diary. And I think that just dawned on me like 10 minutes ago. So when I sit here and reflect, it's just like, holy cow, what's been going on? So, dear diary, 2023 is ending. We did a lot in this year. We're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to pull the last cards. The last card pull for the year. I don't know why I get so sentimental about like the last. Like this is the last time this year. This is the last course this year. I don't know why. That's just like December feels so like wrapping things up, cherry on top. And there's just something so beautiful about this time. I love the reflection. I love the end of the year. I love the January feels. For the last time this year. I'm going to say that a lot this episode. I pulled the cards again on Instagram. I always pull them on Instagram. My only Instagram account is at Medium in the Middle. Please beware of scammers. They are alive and on the internet. I'll leave my link down below in the show notes if you are having a hard time finding my actual Instagram because there are so many scammers. But it's at Medium in the Middle, spelled that way. So we pulled 2 cards this week for you to wrap up the year. The first card was Ask and Receive, and I am using the Kyle Gray Angel Guide book. You guys chose this one on Instagram. Ask and Receive is card number 1. Ask and you shall receive. Your angel guide wants you to know that help is available. You are being encouraged to shift your perception and recognize that even in the most difficult of circumstances, a miracle is possible. Whatever miracle you need, it is available to you now. Your angel guide is encouraging you to recognize that you may have been blocking support by saying no to the things you wanted to say yes to, and asking you to change that now. When you begin to say yes to the experiences that light you up, you usher increased level of support into your life. Okay, and the second card was Romance and Connection. See, New Year's vibes. Angels of romance are swirling around your love life at this time, ushering in positive, uplifting, and heartfelt experiences to remind you that love is real. Allowing yourself to be romanced, to receive and experience a true connection, is important at this time. It is likely that your heart space is opening up and any barriers or shields that have been in place are falling away. If you find yourself scared or uptight about romance, know that this is not only a sign that you would like to experience it, but also that it is something that your energy system really needs. Your angels are guiding you to begin seeing yourself as loving and deserving of love. Know that you have so much goodness and light to offer others and the world. You're also being encouraged to know that the world wants to see you, to know you, and to understand your heart. All of this is only possible with your permission. Why not give it now? That's your card pull, Midlers, to wrap up the year. Ask and receive, and romance and connection. So it seems so fitting that we're finishing the year on episode 199. The podcast will be taking a 3-week break over the holidays, much needed 3-week break. And then a new podcast episode will be back on January 10th, the second Wednesday of the year. We will be back. But I was reflecting on how many episodes I made this year, and the first episode this year was episode 155, my first ever spirit experience. And that's where I talk about dream visitations. And for about a year, I was dreaming about a spirit. And I just thought I was crazy. But now looking back on it, obviously I know. So thank you for being here for 44 episodes. This recap all started, I love to do recaps in December. And it all started when I taught my last Reiki course this past weekend. And right after the Reiki course, I was like, it is time. It is time to count how many Reiki courses in 2023, how many students, how many level ones. So I'm excited to share those numbers with you now. In 2022, I taught 22 Reiki courses, which was amazing because 2022 and 22 Reiki courses was very fun. But in 2023, I don't know how I was able to teach more, but I taught 28 Reiki courses. 28 Reiki courses. So that is on average 2.3 Reiki courses per month. You guys know I love stats. You know I love numbers. You know I love the breakdowns of all this. So what did that 2.3 courses a month look like? Well, I taught 14 Reiki Level 1 courses this year. I taught 9 Reiki Level 2 courses. I taught 3 Reiki Masters courses, and one of those was in person in Banff. So fun. I also noticed this year a huge gap between Reiki Level 2 Masters and also working in Reiki. So I decided to create an advanced Reiki practitioner masterclass, and I taught that live 2 times this year. So with all of those courses, I totaled 282 students that sat in front of me that I taught Reiki to. So if you are one of those 282 people, I know that number might not sound like a lot. It might sound like a lot. I don't know. To me, it's a lot. So just so much gratitude to those 282 people who learned Reiki this year, who gave yourself the gift of Reiki. It's so amazing. But thank you to every student who chose to learn from me this year. My heart is so full. I love teaching Reiki so much. I will do it for as long as I can. And there are more Reiki courses to come in 2023. Reiki Level 2 in January is sold out, but the February date will be coming very soon. If you are looking to learn Reiki Level 1 is happening January 27th and 28th. That's your first time in 2024 to jump on the courses that I taught so much this year. I am working towards my expert status with teaching Reiki, my 10,000 hours. Yeah, to become an expert, it's a lot. So I didn't think I could beat 22 courses in 2022, but we did it with 28. Where did I find time for 6 more courses? I don't know, but these courses are 2 to 3 days. So thank you for a year filled with Reiki. So in the spirit of reflection, this year had a lot of milestones. The podcast turned 4 in August. My business turned 3 in June. The .com, the medium in the middle .com turned 3 years old. The Medium in the Middle podcast turned 4. Wow. I don't even know what to say about those two things. I also celebrated the podcast hitting 300,000 downloads. Again, I know these numbers probably mean nothing to you guys, but as my voice diary, this podcast, these numbers are huge. I remember my first 43 downloads. I was like, wow, I didn't think anyone would listen. And now this podcast has touched so many of you and helped so many of you not feel so alone, which was the whole point of my podcast, why I started to share my story 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago, was so that you knew that you weren't alone on the spiritual journey. I've shared this many times, but I was like, am I the only one that can talk to dead people? Like, who's gonna help me? There's so many people that can help you. So the podcast hit 300,000 downloads, and as I record this now, we are sitting at 347,000 downloads. 347,000. Holy cow. So maybe by the end of the year, we'll hit 350K. That would be amazing. And it's just incredible to see the podcast growing with consistency. As we're taking the trip down memory lane, what else happened this year at Medium in the Middle HQ? I stopped offering Akashic record readings about halfway through the year. I have podcast episodes on that, but I decided that I was scaling down and I couldn't offer everything and I couldn't do everything. And, you had to kind of cut the thing that didn't bring you the most joy. So I was reading the Akashic records for, I think, 3 years. And I decided to stop offering them this year. So that was huge. I mean, it's still in my intro. It won't be in the new year. But I retired my Akashic record practitioner hat this year. That actually felt really good. Learning to say no, learning to say yes, learning to cut things out, learning to add things in. And I had to make space this year. So what was I making space for? Mentorship. So much more mentorship. I ran my Mentees in the Middle program 3 times. I made that program longer. It's now 12 weeks. So I ran that a lot this year. There was a lot of mentorship. I started offering mentorship a la carte. I started separating intuitive hour and Reiki so that we could be more specific about what you want to book. Do you want a nice, quiet, relaxing session? Book Reiki. Are we diving deep into your energy, having conversations, talking? Book intuitive hour. So that's new. Speaking of which, the mentorship program is coming back January 2024. If you are looking for a mentor in the Reiki business or mediumship realm, I am your gal. There's a 12-week program. We meet every other week for 12 weeks, and it is an amazing program. This is the 8th time I'll be running it. The 8th time. Holy moly. I don't know why I'm so sentimental today, but I still have 3 spots left in the January cohort. So if you want to join that, I will leave the link to apply down below. The application is just to make sure that I can help, to make sure that what you're looking for, I can provide. So if you want to jump in on the 8th Mentees in the Middle 12-week one-on-one mentorship program, that link is in the show notes for you. Or you can find it on my website as well. What else happened this year? This year was the first time I ran a mastermind. So I did a 6-month business mastermind, the Midler Mastermind, and it was incredible. It was a bunch of people who had spiritual businesses. The requirement was you had to be a business making money, and we met once a month for 6 months to help everyone build their business, to help them get them on track, to help them learn how to make more money, to help them learn their numbers. It was so fun. I got to know the group so well. It was amazing to see people grow. It was amazing for everyone to share what they were going through. It was amazing to put our minds together. I loved that mastermind so much. That ran February to July, and it will be coming back in the new year. I'm toying with the start date. Do I want to start at the end of January? I kind of want to start at the beginning of February. Last year, we used it at the end of the month, But I kind of want to start at the beginning of Feb so that we have January to kind of reflect on and then start to action right away. So if you are a business owner in the spiritual realm, as long as you're making money, and to be honest, if you're not making money yet, the mentorship program is for you, because to get you to starting a business phase, I can't blanket statement that, but growing your business, I can blanket that and put you in a group and be like, okay, for the next 6 months, we're growing your business. Yeah, that will be coming back in the new year. Stay tuned. You can always send me an email and I'll get you on the wait list for that, because I do cap it. This is making me excited for 2024. I just love reflection. I love looking back on things. I'm sitting in so much gratitude as I sit here and record this. I wrote a little list. I went through my Instagram. I went through the podcast episodes just to be like, what did happen this year? So I don't know, like, do I want to cry? Do I want to laugh? Do I want to scream thank you? Do I want to just keep going through my list? I don't know if you could tell, but I love this stuff. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing in my end of year goals workshop. We go back and we review 2023. What did you do? What were you up to? Did you take the time to write these lists? And then we set goals for 2024. So if you want to set some time aside for yourself, join me. It's a 2.5-hour workshop. It's so much fun. Bring a cozy drink, bring a blanket, and let's do this. Let's write your list. It's happening on Saturday, December 30th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you can't make it live, it does include the replay. I do not sell this workshop afterwards. I just run it once a year, so it's not on my website to purchase after. So sign up now, get the replay, watch it right before the new year, or watch it in the first few weeks of January. It's my favorite workshop. And it just gives you a chance to look back at your year. Like, give yourself the gift of time to do what I am doing right now. Because if not, January comes and we hit the ground running all over again. And we never take a moment to stop and look where we came. It's so important to stop and look back at all the things that you've done and accomplished. So again, that workshop is called From 2023 Milestones to 2024 Goals, happening on Saturday, December 30th from 1 p.m. to 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. It's only $44 Canadian. And I want you to give yourself the gift of time. This workshop is amazing. People come every year. They could just rewatch last year's workshop, but they still come every year because they like it. So join the vibe, join the party, December 30th. So this year I also presented at 4 retreats. The Banff Wellness Retreat, there was 2 in the spring and 2 in the fall. To all the amazing people that I met at those retreats who later became my students or my clients, thank you so much. Those retreats are always so fun. We'll be doing it again next spring. I'll be there for both of the spring Banff Wellness Retreats. It's nice to mix in that in real life experience, and having those retreats are such a special part of my year. So just sitting in that, I presented at those retreats 2 to 3 times per weekend. I didn't even count how many presentations I did. I should have done that. But I'm going to guess 10 presentations. I think it was 3 and 3 and then 2 and 2. So thank you, Banff Wellness Retreat, for always having me. It's always a treat. It's always a highlight of the year. And I was talking to a friend today. I was doing a coaching call as receiving, not actually hosting one for once. And I was talking about core memories. And I was like, I want to make more core memories this year. And I was like, core memories are a lot of in-person things. I was like, when I went and saw Blink-182 this year in concert, oh my God, like, I just want to scream just thinking about it. But it was such a core memory. Number 1, because it's Blink-182. Number 2, because I've been wanting to go to that concert since I was like, so I would have been in high school, grade 10. How old are you in grade 10? 15? So how old am I now? So 19 years. That's so scary to say. 19 years I wanted to go to a Blink-182 concert. And it finally happened this year, and it was such a core memory. I belted every single song out. And I just was talking about how I'm like, I want more core memories. Like, I want more of that. Like, that brought me so much joy. And I know, like, probably not many things are going to top that. But as I was reflecting, I was like, Banff Wellness Retreat is always a core memory. Like these things happen and they're just a really big deal. Speaking of core memories, I set my word of the year. Again, we do this in the goals workshop, was enjoyment. And my plan was to take more time off this year and was to get into a plane every quarter. So that was my goal. And I got into a plane Q1, Q2, Q3. I have not gotten on a plane on Q4 yet, but there's still 2 weeks left of December. So who knows? We could do a YOLO trip. And I'm really, really proud of myself for doing that. I went to Vancouver. I went to Las Vegas. I flew back to Ontario to visit family. And on that last trip was when I upgraded to the front of the plane, premium. I was calling it first class, but it's premium. It's not real first class. We're not there yet. Soon, but not yet. And I flew to Toronto, upgraded, and I did lots of podcast episodes on this, manifesting, yada, 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 if you want to go back and listen. And then I upgraded on the way, flew back home, and I was like, I am never sitting in the back of a plane again. And I just booked plane tickets to go to Mexico next year, and I booked premium both ways. Now, guys, I am very savvy. Very savvy. I love a sale. I love WestJet dollars. I love credit card points. So I just figured out how to do this. But I was just like, again, it came into my realm. It's making me manifest. It's making me figure out, how do I fly at the front of the plane? How do I get free food and drinks when I'm on my way to vacation? And I did that. So I'm really happy that I had 2 flights. The last 2 flights that I took were upgraded. And then the next flights that I booked both ways upgraded. So that was really fun. Another really big milestone this year was I had my biggest month in business ever. It was March 2023. Shout out March 2023. March 2023, you taught me so much. Let's do this properly. Dear Diary, March 2023. Holy cow. Dear March 2023, you taught me... I'm actually welling up. Oh my God. Dear March 2023, my biggest month in business. And it's not just that it was my biggest month in business. So we all have a goal in business and there's a number, and I had a number in my head that I wanted to hit monthly. And then a few years ago, I realized how to hit that monthly goal, and I've been hitting it ever since, where now it seems easy. I teach us all in my mastermind. But March 2023 was double that. That's a lie. March 2023 was $325 short of double. And it blew me out of the water. It changed my views on money. It changed my views on what is possible. It changed my views of what's available. Just like everything with money and my beliefs, so much changed in March 2023. And did I work like a mad woman? Yes. I had a Reiki level 1 course, a Reiki level 2 course. I had the beginning of a Reiki master's course. I had the advanced Reiki master's course for the first time. I did my monthly mastermind. I worked every single day except for 4 days as listed here. But it was just like double. And because of that month, I just kept that momentum going. And it led my business to being 48% over last year by July, which was incredible. I haven't done the numbers yet. End of year is coming. I love numbers. But March 2023 was like, it's 267% over 2022. So just showed me that big things are possible. Looking at 2022 sales and looking at 2023 sales, like 267% more. Like it's still way more than my even goal, which my goal was already doubled. Just March 2023, thank you. I don't even have the words. I'm sitting here like I don't know what to say. So I definitely think that was a huge expansion for me. It taught me so much. It forced me to buy those upgraded seats, which started, this kind of upgrade of being like bigger and better, onwards and upwards. You guys know that I love Amy on Instagram who makes $300,000 a month. Come in, Amy, one day. But just seeing that and being expanded in that way was amazing. So I'm going to stop talking about March 2023, but it was amazing. So I always celebrate my biggest months, when I have a big month, when I beat a record, when I go up, anything like that. I love my numbers because I love celebrating. I love buying myself things. So I think for that, I bought myself a new Louis Vuitton bag. I love vintage Louis Vuitton. I also think I bought myself for another celebration. I got myself a new pair of designer sunglasses. Again, Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton's my celebration thing. When I want to celebrate, I buy myself Louis Vuitton. When there's big things, we do big things. So thank you for coming to my business recap that no one asked for. But because this is my diary, this is all for me. But hopefully this helps you, this inspires you. It's just nice to hear other people's recaps. Get you to inspire you to write your own recap. Sit down, give yourself the gift of time. But I want to do a podcast recap. I want to talk about the 44 episodes that I released this year, what we talked about, what do we listen to? I was in your ears. Started off with my first ever spirit experience. We talked about why Reiki is different when you receive it from different people. We talked about expanding your money mindset. We talked about finding your no. We talked about if you believe in soulmates or not. We talked about why mediumship readings are so expensive, quote unquote. Never say the word so expensive. Here's a little money tip for you. That's episode 162. Very, very good, especially if you are a medium. Talks about pricing and why we price it the way we do. Episode 162, why are mediumship readings so expensive? Go listen to it. Throw your seeds, where we talked about telling people about your business. I was in my teacher era this year. We talked about your energy being like a puzzle. We figured out if it's the universe testing you in episode 165, how to spot your lessons. I did some interviews this year. We talked about energy boundaries. We talked about collecting puzzle pieces, using your intuition. Do children remember past lives? Should I go back to mediumship? When I thought Spirit was trying to push me back to mediumship, I didn't. But they always come back and test me about once a year. Talked about the time me and Michelle had a beautiful mediumship exchange during a Reiki session. When I went to Vegas, a psychic goes to Vegas, again, working on your money mindset, because I love money mindsets and I'm always working on mine, which led me to episode 174, manifesting $5,000. That wasn't my story. That was actually one of my mentees' story, but I had to share it because she manifested $5,000. It was amazing. We did a lot of energy and mediumship Q&A. I talked about when Nona came to say goodbye before she passed away. Talked about what does success mean to you. So much business and boundaries talk. So much energy and mediumship Q&A. Talked about signs. We talked about your manual. We talked about what's normal to feel during Reiki. Shared all the stories about manifesting in first class. 184, you'll see me in blue. Sweet baby. Makes me cry every time. Oh, I had to pause there. Episode 184 will explain it all. But I literally can't even look at that without you crying. Okay, moving on. We talked about when I went to a medium named Breeze group mediumship reading in Calgary. That was so fun. Sitting in an audience during a group mediumship reading and not doing it was such a treat. We talked about the time I dreamt my dog ran away and then he did. So trust your intuition, folks. I put my teacher hat back on and episode 187, how to build your clientele. Wow, episode 188, we talked about working on your mindset again. Every time I learn a lesson, I just want to share about it on the podcast. I want to save you guys the time. Episode 191, I finally did a podcast episode telling you why I don't offer mediumship readings. I think I had 7 reasons or 9 reasons why. So if you're interested, 191 is where I tell you why I don't offer mediumship readings, followed by episode 192. This is so funny. My most accurate mediumship reading ever happened that same week that I released that episode, where spirit was just on fire. That is a crazy episode, 192. I had Paula on the podcast. I had Heather on the podcast. I had Michelle on the podcast. We talked about how to release your emotions. Again, I talked about that as a sign. I'm really trying to help you with the signs. I want to help you understand what the universe is trying to teach you, show you, and tell you all about the signs. Clearly, I did 3 episodes on that. 3 episodes about mindset. Can you tell I like teaching? We talked about how you are not for everyone, and that's okay. We talked about spirit getting cheeky, saying a little joke. I skipped a few, but that was the 44 episodes this year. So thank you for listening. I hope they help you. I hope you go back and listen to them when you need them. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this. It just, when you sit and reflect, you're like, holy cow, look at everything I did this year. Look at everything I released. Look at everything that was done. Look at 2023. I was also talking about vulnerability today, so this is all looping back around as I record the last podcast of 2023. And I'm sure I'm missing more in my 2023 review. But the last thing that I want to highlight here is the podcast got its first sponsor in 2023. So I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to DYP Refillery. Do your part. They were a store in Calgary. They sell around Calgary. They also have an online shop. It's a one small business, woman owned, supporting another small business, woman owned. So thank you so much to DYP. You took a chance and supported my podcast, and I will always, always, always remember you and have so much gratitude to our first ever sponsor. Cheers to many more in the future. So I'm going to end this podcast with gratitude and a massive thank you to you, the Middlers. Thank you for being here for all of this. Thank you to every client, every online session, virtual session, every mentorship call, every Reiki training, every masterclass. I can't even list it all. Every retreat, every course, every session, everything. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you supported me, a small business in Little Banff, Alberta, it means more than you could ever know. Thank you for listening. Thank you for every message and email and DM and Instagram about how the podcast has helped you, how you don't feel so alone, about how you enjoy listening. I enjoy putting these out for you. There is so much more to come. I have so many stories. I wish I could do them all for you right now, but we're coming back with a bang in 2024. So just thank you for an amazing 2023. If I am in your ears, I have been so grateful to be here. I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes if you want to register for the December Goals Workshop. If you are interested in Reiki Level 1 in the new year, or if you are looking for a mentor, I have those 3 spots left for January. If you haven't already, the greatest gift you could give a small business this time of year is a review. Literally anywhere. You can leave the podcast a review. You can leave me a review on Google, Medium in the Middle. 5 stars, a little note is so appreciative. I don't want any gifts this year. I'm just asking for reviews. Until you run a small business, I know it's hard to understand, but these things mean so much to us. I don't want money. I don't want you to book anything. I just want you to leave a review. So if you have time this holiday season and you're listening to this, maybe your phone's in your hand, you could just review the podcast or leave me a review on Google. I would so appreciate it. I will be back with a new episode and a new podcast intro on January 10th. But until next year, Middlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you all have a wonderful and restful holiday season. Thank you for an amazing 2023. I will see you in 2024. Bye!